Hey kids, Jeremy here. Now what kind of animal am I? Tell me. Oh, I'm an ape again. Oh well, that makes it easy. You know, if I'm an ape, you guys are so smart. You guys know what it stands for? APE. I don't even have to say anything. I just have to stand here and itch a little bit. Oh, I'm good at that. Let's go and see if you remember what it stands for. A stands for, that's right, attention. Pay attention. Look at the screen. Know what's on the screen. You don't want to miss anything. And P stands for, no, not pickles. P stands for participate, right? If the video says everybody stand up, everyone should stand up. If the video says itch yourself, go ahead. Yep, just like me. E stands for being excited. It's okay to sit next to a friend, talk a little bit, get a little loud. It's not your grandma's house, but make sure you're paying attention. That's what it stands for. You guys don't even need me anymore. I'm just a muscular, handsome, visual clue now. That's how to get good things on Wfet. Spells out ape. APE. Attention, participate, excited. Now, the only thing left for me to say, start the clapping. That's it. And get ready for this episode of Wfet. You gotta go.
This is the stone retaining wall which held in place the earthen embankment that surrounded the city, and on top of the stone retaining wall was the mud brick wall.
On top of this stone foundational retaining wall, there was another wall, the city wall, which was made out of mud bricks. The three teams that dug Jericho were the German team from 1907 to 1909, John Garstang in the 1930s and Kathleen Kenyon in the 1950s. Using the excavation reports from these three digs, we were able to reconstruct what the city of Jericho would have looked like in the time of Joshua. Both the stone wall and the mud brick wall on top of it made up the outer wall that surrounded the city. Further up the embankment was another mud brick wall.
And so as the Israelites were marching on the outside here where we are, this is what they were looking at. This stone facing wall, this big high mud brick wall, the embankment, another mud brick wall up on top. And so as they marched around, they must have been thinking, how are we going to capture this city? Because it's so strongly fortified.
Referring to our ancient text, Joshua 6:20 says that on the seventh day, at the sound of the trumpets, the wall collapsed.
And the Bible is very specific in how it describes that event. The Hebrew wording there is the walls takatha, fell beneath themselves. And on the seventh trip around, we're told in the Bible, the mud brick wall collapsed and it fell outward and down to the base of the stone retaining wall. And when the archaeologists dug in this area, they found this pile of mud bricks all the way along the retaining wall.
So where I am right now is where the pile of red bricks were found.
That's correct.
The Germans, Garstang, and Kenyon all found these piles of collapsed mud bricks while excavating at the base of the stone retaining wall. Then she shows that she dug down the side of that the outside of that revetment wall, and then there were reddish collapsed bricks that she said came from the top of that stone wall.
Yes. Which is another reason to suppose that these weren't, there were walls on top. They're not in situ, but the collapsed brick has come down. Yes. If you have a brick wall sitting on top of a stone revetment and it falls over, where else can the bricks go? They've got to go to the bottom.
And so with that pile of bricks, what does that tell us? Does that tell us that there was a destruction of the wall?
Certainly. It certainly is evidence of that destruction.
These fallen bricks from the city wall can be seen in this diagram from Kenyon's excavation report. In her write-up, she makes it clear that it was not the stone retaining wall that fell, but rather the mud brick wall that once stood on top of it.
And so she writes that up in her report, that here we have a collapsed city wall. And here's the evidence for it.
The archaeological understanding of how the walls of Jericho fell matches well with the ancient description of the wall falling beneath itself.
This find of a collapsed city wall found here at Jericho is unique in archaeology. At no other site have we found evidence for a city wall that has fallen down.
Yes, there were remains of the mud brick that had fallen down. I mean, that wall came tumbling down.
So the Bible says that the wall came tumbling down. The archaeologists then came and dug Jericho, and what did they find? They found a collapsed city wall. This fits perfectly with the description from the ancient text.
And when you have that text, and you have the archaeology, and you can fit them together, then you have the evidence from both sides, the literary evidence and the actual physical evidence from what the Bible is talking about.
Another interesting detail regarding the walls of Jericho is found in Joshua 6:20. It says that after the walls collapsed, the Israelites went up into the city. Kenyon's excavation report shows that the pile of fallen mud bricks could have been used as a ramp by the charging Israelites. Because that would be a problem, wouldn't it? I mean, if the soldiers were charging, there was a mud brick wall up there. Even with that mud brick wall gone, I mean, what are they supposed to do? I mean, climb up the wall to attack. So what Kenyon's report says is that mud brick wall collapsed off of this foundation, and it went all the way up to the top of the rim there, and it formed a ramp like this so that when the charging army would come, they could have run up into the city to attack it.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what the Bible says. Each man went before him straight up into the city, and they could do that by just climbing up over that pile of collapsed mud bricks, up over the top of the stone retaining wall, up the embankment, and into the city.
Oh, hola kids. Joshua here again. Day 6, walking the wall. Tomorrow's the big day. Hope you're hanging in there today. Nice and quiet again. Tomorrow, day 7, we get to start making some noise. So I hope you're back with me tomorrow for day 7, because I am looking forward to that. Now that we're in shape, we get to walk it 7 times tomorrow. So hang in there. Tomorrow's our last day. So I was thinking while I was walking about something I wanted to ask. Something I wanted to ask. It's pretty serious. It's about who are we going to follow? Are we going to follow the world, or are we going to follow God? And it comes out of the book named after me again, Joshua. So it's Joshua 24:15. One hand today. It can't be much more simple than that. Joshua 24:15. And the question kind of goes like this. Then choose for yourself. Who's choosing? You're choosing. So it's then choose for yourself right now. You see that? That's right now. That's not tomorrow. That's right now. Then choose for yourself right now whom you will serve. That's the question. So it comes out of Joshua 24:15. Then choose for yourself right now who you will serve. But for me and my family, then, so it's Joshua 24:15. Then choose for yourself right now whom you will serve. Who are you going to serve? Are you going to serve the world or are you going to serve God? That's the choice. Serve the world, serve God. Joshua 24:15. Then choose for yourself right now whom you will serve. But for me and my family, we choose to serve the Lord. That's my choice for me and my family. You have to make your choice. Chicken, who do you choose to serve? With an answer like that, we'll be serving you. Kids, let's start from the top. Joshua 24:15. Then choose for yourself right now who you will serve. But for me and my family, we'll serve the Lord. One more time, and then we'll do the quiet thing again. Remember the quiet thing? It's coming up. So one last time here. Joshua 24:15. Then choose for yourself right now who will you serve. But for me and my family, we'll serve the Lord. You ready? Here you go. We're going quiet. Joshua Thank you, kids. It's been great. See you in my tent later for a little Fortnite, a little G Fuel, and then tomorrow, 7 times around the wall. See you for that.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite game show, This or That. Go ahead and stand up and move towards the front. Have an elephant the size of a cat, or a cat the size of an elephant. Play outdoors or play indoors. Broccoli flavored ice cream or meat flavored cookies. Eat a spider or have 50 spiders crawl all over you. Live in a sailboat or live in a log cabin. Have a tree house with 3 big rooms or have 1 entertainment room. Eat a popsicle or eat a cupcake. Have super strength or super speed. live in a house by your parents, or have your parents have a house 3 times bigger than they do now? Be in the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics? Play piano or play guitar? Have a hot dog or have a hamburger? Thanks for playing This or That.
Hello, you're probably wondering where your precious youth pastor, Judah, has gone. Well, I've kidnapped him. Yes, that's right. This mysterious voice you hear on the other side of the recording has your precious youth pastor, and you'll never know who it is.
Gary, time to do the dishes.
Honey, I don't have time for the dishes right now. I'm recording a voiceover for the kids because I not captured or kidnapped. I didn't do any of that to Judah. None of it. None. 0. Yeah, and I'm going to give them the challenge of the week. Can I do the dishes later?
Okay, if those dishes aren't done, no marshmallows in your hot chocolate tonight.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. I'll do it.
And now back to my sinister plan. If you don't give me $10 billion by tomorrow at 9:30 a.m., I won't release Judah ever. And that brings me to the challenge of the week. The challenge of the week is to ask questions. Yeah, just like these scientists asked questions about where Jericho was, and they started digging there, and they found it. Yeah, they found Jericho, and they found where the walls had come down. It's okay to ask questions of the Bible and try to dig for the answers. You know, if God is real, which we know he is, then you can ask questions and he can answer them. He's okay with that. So when you're reading the Bible, make sure you write down some questions that you have in you. And I'll take the $5 billion to Gary Chapin, 1315 Commerce Avenue, Longview, Washington.
And now it's time for everyone's favorite game show, What Is It? The forerunner was the Dulcian. Since 1831, Heckel has been the standard. It's the grandfather in Peter and the Wolf. Double Reed never sounded so good or so much like Shauna's maiden name. Bassoon. Thanks for playing. What is it?
Question number 1. Begin. Question number 2. Begin. Question number 3. Begin. Question number 4. Begin. Question number 5. Begin. Question 6 is about to begin. And now we're ready for question number 7. Begin. Question 8. Begin. Question 9 is about to begin. Question number 10. Begin. It's time for question 11 to begin. Question 12. Begin. Question 13. Begin. Now it's time for question 14 to begin. How many questions are there? Begin. No more questions. It's time for the verse to begin.